So in this video I'm going to show you how to go from our genetic code in our DNA to actually figuring out what amino acids and eventually what proteins, or what the proteins look like, going through this process of transcription and translation. So first I'm just going to show you how this codon wheel works and kind of how I'm going to present problems to you. So you're going to see here that I'm always going to start off by giving you genetic code in the form of your DNA. Now remember that our codon wheel over here only works with RNA. So the first step is to turn your DNA code into RNA code. So let's go ahead and translate our DNA into RNA first. And so remember those base pairing rules. You have A always pairing up with T and C pairing up with G, right? But also remember that RNA has no T's. RNA has U's instead. So A's will pair up with U's. T's will still pair up with A's, and you'll kind of see that in a second here. So let me do one for you here. If we have our genetic code TAC, well, T always pairs up with A. A usually pairs up with T on DNA, but on RNA there are no T's, it's a U instead. And C pairs up with G. So that code TAC pairs up on our RNA with AUG. Once we know our RNA, we can go ahead and figure out our amino acids using the codon wheel. So the way we're going to use our codon wheel is we're going to read from inside to out. So what we'll do is we'll look first for the letter A starting on the inside of the wheel here. And I can see the letter A right here. We read this wheel from inside to out. So we're looking for the sequence AUG. So here's my A, here's my U, and here's my G. I'm reading from inside to out. So I can see that that gives me the amino acid methionine, or in this case I'm just going to abbreviate MET. So that's the three-step process of turning your DNA into RNA and your RNA into amino acids. And remember that methionine is also our starting codon. So we're going to see in just a minute that all of our proteins, all of our amino acid chains are going to start with the methionine. So let's do one more just to make sure we know how it's done. So here's another example. Again, I've given you some code in DNA, and we want to turn that into an amino acid. So the first step, again, is going to be turning that into a strand of RNA. And remember that we have our typical base pairing rules. So A normally pairs with T. Remember, no T's on RNA, so it pairs up with U. G's pair up with C, and C's pair up with G. Oh, sorry, let me fix that. G's pair up with C's, and C's pair up with G's. There we go. So there's our RNA sequence. Now we can go ahead and turn that into our amino acids. In this case, only one because we only have one codon. We read it 3 letters at a time. Again, from left to right on this word, we start from inside to outside. So let's go ahead and first find the U on the inside of the circle that's here. The next letter is a C right here, and the last letter is a G right here. So that's going to code for serine. I'm just, again, abbreviating, and you can abbreviate to SER. So that's how we use our codon wheel, reading from inside to outside. Now let's try a little bit of a harder problem. This time we're actually going to chain together multiple amino acids. So this one I've started off for you by already separating the DNA 3 letters at a time, because remember we read codons 3 letters at a time. This one's going to kind of be a little bit different because we're going to start with AUG right at the start. So RNA, let's go ahead and translate our DNA into RNA. T pairs up with A pairs up with U, and C pairs up with G. G pairs up with C. C pairs up with G, and A pairs up with U. A pairs with U, T with A, C with G. A goes to U, G goes to C, and C goes to G. So here's my RNA code, and now I'm going to go ahead and turn that into an amino acid chain. Again, reading 3 letters at a time, each codon 3 letters at a time, inside to outside. So I'm going to start off with my first codon, AUG. Start in the inside of the circle, A here, U here, G here, MET, methionine. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. That's my first amino acid in the chain. Now I'm going to read my next 3 letters, which are CGU. So start on the inside, work my way out. C, G, U. Argine, ARG. So I'm going to go ahead, ARG. Then go ahead and do my next 3 letters, UAG, UAG. Look what I have here. So in this case, I don't have an amino acid, I have a stop. When you see that, guess what you do? You stop. This is done right here. I'm not going to continue to read 3 letters because I hit the stop. I'm done. That's the end of my protein. It's only 2 amino acids long. Every time you see that stop, you get to a stop, you're done with your problem. Alright, let's do one more. And this is going to be like a problem you see on your paper. And in this problem, I've done something a little bit different, but this is how you're eventually going to see these problems. So, first step is to turn your DNA into RNA. Remember the base pairing rules. Look at this time I didn't separate out the codons for you, and you'll see why in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and pair these up. C goes with G, C goes with G, T goes with A, T goes with A goes with U, C goes with G, C goes with G, T goes with A, G goes with C, T goes with U, A goes with T, C goes with G, and G goes with C. Now, you could start right away reading these 3 letters at a time. But the trick is, and this is where I mentioned that start codon, when I give you a problem like this, you have to find that start codon before. You have to find that methionine, because that's always the first amino acid that you're going to see. So remember, the code for methionine, there's only one, is AUG. That codes for methionine. If you look here, AUG. So I'm going to go ahead and read my sequence left to right, and the first time I see the 3 letters AUG, that's where I'm going to start. So if I read left to right, AUG is right here. That's actually where I'm going to start reading my amino acid chain. That's where I'm going to start reading my RNA. So I'm going to go ahead and do myself a favor and box that off, and then I read every 3 letters after that. So you may have some letters left over, but you read 3 letters at a time after that first AUG. So now you're ready to go ahead and turn that into your amino acid chain, reading 3 letters at a time. So the first 3 letters, again, you start at that start, AUG, AUG, we already know, gives us methionine, so we'll go ahead and write that, MET. The next is GAC, GAC, gives us ASP, and UAG, reading from inside to out, UAG gives us a stop, so we're done. So that's our amino acid chain. You'll be doing some much larger, but that's basically the process of how to do it. If you have any questions, make sure you ask. Good luck.